Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're posing the question, what is over-tourism? Let me just get into this and then I want to get into the analysis here. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article in the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. There was also another article in Bangkok Post talking about this over-tourism thing, but I initially found it in Pattaya Mail, so I like to cite where I originally find things. The article is titled, "Officials Fear Pattaya and Phuket Are Overcrowded Hotspots." Quoting directly, the Federation of Thai Tourism Associations has formally warned the Thai government that over-tourism is now at crisis point. You know, I'm always fascinated by the verbiage, crisis point. Okay. Quoting further, with projections that the calendar year 2024 will see 40 million overseas visitors, parallel to the 2019, the last pre-COVID year. Well, isn't that good news? All we've been hearing the past, 4 years is we're never going to get tourism back and COVID decimated everything and, oh, woe is us and we need to stimulate the economy by creating digital currency to track and trace everyone. But now we got to worry about over-tourism. Quoting further, both the environment and tourist comfort are under dire threat. Chris Flynn, chief officer of the World Tourism Association, said that Thai authorities don't seem to have determined, quote, what they can take before they break. Break what? I mean, we're not talking about a dam, quoting further, the most obvious signs of over-tourism in Pattaya are awesome traffic congestion made worse by tour buses crowding the inadequate roads and road repairs being conducted at several points in or near the city center. Well, they're also doing a bunch of road work too. And again, we're going back to parallel what we were at in 2019. Nobody was talking about over-tourism in 2019. We were looking for the next year and hoping we could keep those numbers going to keep the money coming in. Where did this over-tourism stuff come from? Quoting further, John Lehman, a tourist from Liverpool, UK, said, quote, "It takes me at least 1 hour after dark to travel from Jomtien to Central Pattaya, twice last year's time." Well, last year no one was there. Quoting further, "And when you get to your destination, parking is near impossible." Yeah, the tourists are back. The internal tourists are back. What are we talking about here? For years it was, tourism might die and da-da-da. And now we've got it back. Not to get too hyperbolic here, but this is a problem we want to have. In fact, it's a problem we've been striving for, problem in quotation marks. It's a problem we've been striving for like 4 years now, ever since they shut down our entire economy. And we literally watched people do away with themselves. I was here. I'm fascinated that everyone has this short-term amnesia. Does no one remember the rice lines? The tuk-tuk drivers sitting around Lumpini Park who couldn't make money anymore because everything was shut down, and Thais were donating food to those people. And we had to have food lines down at Pattaya because there was no business. And now the media's out talking about over-tourism? Yes, I understand there may be infrastructural challenges to 40 million people coming into the country. Thailand can handle it. It's been handling it since the dawn of time. It's been handling it infrastructurally for the last 50 years. Over-tourism, the implication being we need less tourists? Is that a great idea? Meanwhile, yeah, I do get that there are issues associated with folks coming into Thailand, working illegally, living here, even though they're ostensibly coming as tourists. Those are different issues. But this whole notion of over-tourism, what is that? And by the way, I'm really kind of creeped out by this constant movement, narrative-wise, to create these new words. What was it Lenin said? V.I. Lenin said, "We shall win through slogans." And his point was you create these buzzwords and then you sort of get people behind these buzzwords, and it's not necessarily for the public good. Again, you look at the history of Bolshevism and what Lenin did. Yeah, he used a lot of slogans, and those slogans killed a lot of people. I'm not saying it's that dire here in this country, but what I'm saying is this slogan of over-tourism, what does that serve? You know, again, we spent years having no tourism, praying to get it back. And we have. And by the way, Thailand should be proud of herself and everybody that's involved in that. That includes folks in the new government, the folks in the old government that tried to, get things going. And just the grassroots Thais themselves ought to be proud of what they've accomplished in getting their tourism numbers back up. This notion of over-tourism, and the implied notion that we need less tourism, no. At the end of the day, tourism needs to be encouraged like it always has been. I do get that when we go into the low season, there is a different impetus on the part of Thai immigration to go after people who may be using their tourist status to live here and things illegally. But that's a totally different animal from the notion of over-tourism, and we need to do something about this problem. Again, this is a problem we want to have. It's a problem we strived for years. So I don't see where this over-tourism notion is coming from.